Hi everyone, today's session will be about managing your photos and videos. So what's a photo managing system used for? So it can be used for storaging, syncing, and backing up your photos and videos. It can be used for metadata management, which is like it's a set of data that describes and gives information about other data. It can be used for organizing, categorizing, and filtering. It can be also used for editing your photos. Like you could crop, resize, change the color, the lighting, pretty much anything you can think of. And also you can share and print. So making a plan. So there are a lot of ways you can make accessing your photos both easier and more enjoyable, and we'll be taking you through a few. But first, it's important to figure out what you need out of a photo manager and make a plan. So do you need a photo manager? If you only have a small amount of photos and videos saved on your device, you might not even need a photo manager. Maybe you just save them to your regular cloud or hard drive storage. Also, photo managers are best used when you are overwhelmed with photos and videos and you need help storing and organizing them. So how easy is it to use? If you have a lot of photos and videos, managing them is going to be a pretty daunting task, and you want to make it as simple as possible. Also, photo managing softwares like Apple Photos, Google Photos, and Microsoft Photos are great options for basic organizing and editing. And don't worry, we'll go through each a little bit about how each one works. So will it work on all my devices? If you're strictly an Apple user, then Apple Photos is going to be the most seamless photo manager for you. But if your devices are running on all different platforms, maybe outsourcing your photo manager to something like Google Photos is better. Now, which to pick? So there are a lot of photo management apps out there, but which one should you actually use? So convenience is probably going to play the biggest role. If you have an Apple product you already have, and you already have your Photos app, that might be all you need. If you have a Windows 10 computer, you will have access to their built-in photo manager, which is also just called Photos. And if you have an older system or device that run on all different systems, you might want to consider a different cloud-based photo managing software. So let's get into photo managers. So let's start with Apple Photos. So it offers basic and easy to use photo editing. It lets you see photos in moments, collection, years, and more. It organizes your photos based on location and faces. It allows you to share photos via iCloud photo sharing and AirDrop to various places. It's completely free, and the only way you pay is if you pay for iCloud storage if you go over the limit. It's simpler to use, but it also means less features. So there are no import and export tools, no collage makers, remote albums, and image protection. And it's only available on Apple devices such as Mac, iPads, and iPhones. Now, Google Photos. So this one also offers basic and easy to use photo editing. It organizes your photos into albums based on locations, times, and events. It allows easy photo sharing. The application itself is free. And if you already have a Google Drive, it uses that storage from the Google Drive, which is 15 gigabytes of free storage. But if you go over, you need to pay for a plan. And it's available across all devices and platforms. So it's great if you have a mismatch of devices, but automatic syncing has to be turned on devices like phones and tablets. And we also had a past webinar on Google Photos if you guys want to check that out later. And finally, Microsoft Photos. So this one's also, it offers basic and easy to use photo editing as the others. It organizes your photos into albums based on locations, times, and events. Allows easy photo sharing, free minus the storage. And you can add and manage photos across all devices like on Google Photos. but once again, automatic syncing has to be turned on devices like phones and tablets. So importing photos. Unless you have only ever taken photos on your perfectly synced smart devices, you're probably going to have photos stored in all different places. You'll want to import those photos into your photo managing app to have them all in one place for easier organization. Importing in Apple Photos. So whether your photos are already stored on your computer or on another device that you have plugged in, you will start by opening Photos, then go to File and then Import. And from there, select the file location and then the folder or files you want to import. And once you have found and selected your files, click Review for Import. You can also click and drag files into Photos and it will have the same effect. And finally, importing in Microsoft Photos. So the process here is similar to Apple. You will start by opening Photos, which should be in your Start menu. Then click Import in the top right corner, and the images are shown on the right, so it'll look like. From there, select the photos you would like to import into the app. And once you have found and selected your files, click Continue, and then Import. And also importing in Google Photos. So for this one, you open Google Photos in your web browser. Click Upload in the top right corner of the screen, and then Computer, or Drive if they are already on your cloud. From there, select the photos you would like to import into the platform. And once you have found and selected them, click Open. Also, on your computer, you'll have to download the Google Photos Backup and Sync app if you want automatic syncing, but you will still access photos from the web browser. Managing photos from other locations. If the photos are older, they may not have meta tagging, which helps many managing softwares automatically organize them. So you will want to organize before importing them. You can also try importing them in batches and then adding those batches into an appropriate album you have created. And you might also want to name the files if there's not too many for easier searching later. Creating albums. So creating an album in Apple Photos. On the left of your screen, click the plus button next to My Albums. You will then be able to name the album, which will help you keep organized. To add photos to the album, right-click them in your General Photos area, select Add to, and then select the album, and they will then be added to the album. Then creating an album on Microsoft Photos, go to Albums, go to the Albums tab, then click New Album in the top left portion of the screen. You then be prompted to select photos to add. Once you have added the photos, you'll also want to change the title of the album as it will automatically be called New Album. And finally, creating an album in Google Photos. So here you click plus create in the top right corner, then click album. You will then be prompted to name the album and then add photos. And you can select photos from inside Google Photos or upload them from your device directly into the album. And now let's talk about deleting photos. So this is to get rid of photos you don't want. So the first step to getting your photos organized is to go through them and delete any duplicate files or photos that you no longer want. So you don't want to have to do this, but photos and videos can take up a lot of space, and getting rid of useless photos will save you space and even money if you're paying for storage. Deleting in Apple Photos. So simply right-click the photo you want to delete, then click Delete Photo. If your devices are synced up using iCloud, it will delete it from all locations. Deleting in Microsoft Photos. So same as Apple Photos, right-click the photo you want to delete and click Delete from the menu that appears. And if your devices are synced, once again, it will delete it from all locations. And deleting in Google Photos. So here you click the check mark on any photos you want to delete. You will then see options that appear in the top right hand corner of your screen and click the trash can icon. And this photo will be deleted from all your Google Photos locations. More to do. So there's a lot more you can do in any of these photo manager apps, like editing photos, creating collages, and much more. If you're curious about these other features, feel free to ask in the breakout rooms, and we will try our best to demonstrate. Alternate photo managers. So some other photo manager apps are, let's start with this one, Adobe Bridge. So this is a free platform with basic photo management and editing options. It does not work too well across devices, so best used on just a computer. But it easily works between other Adobe platforms like Photoshop and Premiere. Then we have Adobe Lightroom. This is basically a paid version of Bridge with more editing features and generally targeted towards more avid picture takers. It's free for mobile, great for use with other Adobe products, and it does not work too well across devices, so just best used on just a computer. Then we have AC/DC. This system has been around for a long time, and so it has a lot of loyal users. It's reliable. It offers more advanced photo editing and organizing options. Turn on automatic syncing from all of your devices. And it's probably more suited towards those who are interested in doing more with their photos than just storing and organizing them. Digitizing printed photos. So there are a few ways you can do this. One of them is using an at-home scanner to scan all of your photos onto your computer. You can also, photo stores and pharmacies with photo centers have scanners you can pay to use. Or you can pay someone else to digitize all your photo memories. And here's some websites. And now let's do the quick demo. So I'll be demonstrating the Windows photos. So to open the app, to access it, you would just, in the bottom left of your screen, click on the search bar here and type in Photos. It should already be installed for all Windows computers. Then you would open it. And here we got Collection, which is all the photos and videos on your computer. What else? We got to import photos. You'd see it at the top right of your screen. So you'd click it and you can import it from a folder to your collection or from a connected device. But for that one, you would have to connect the device to your computer using a wire. You can connect your phone, camera, or another device. Then you can create albums. So to create it, you would go to albums here in the top left. Click this plus button. And then you would pick all the photos you want to add to the album. Let's say I want to add these two. Create in the top right. And then I can rename it if I want. So I'll say like animals and hit done. And then you have the album. And you can also delete albums. So you can right click on this. Oh, sorry. You would hit this little box in the top right of the album. And it gives you a few options here. So here's remove. You'd click that to delete it. And it's the same for photos. If I want to delete this, hit the check mark and hit the trash can icon. And it's pretty much it. There's also this little video editor if you want to make like a little slideshow or movie with some of the photos and videos you have, but that's like a little more advanced. But feel free to try it. And I believe that's it. So thanks for listening and hope it was somewhat informative.